All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 14, the finale.
We are getting into it.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, so
Yang and Raven are staring down with a relic in the midst and the portal stuff.
But with Cinder down for the count, at least for now. With Hazel looks like he's getting bodied at this point. This could be a very light or very calm finale.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I hope the good guys don't win too much. Like,
well, they don't have to win like all the way.
Right.
Like the way they could do this is basically have like Raven gets the relic. For instance.
Raven gets the relic, Cinder gets away. You know, or something
or
like
at the
that.
very least, like a lot of the villains get away.
Right.
The ones that are in a little bit of an interesting position are really Hazel, Emerald, and Mercury.
Right.
They're in that kind of middle ground where
yeah.
we don't really know what's going to happen
Adam
to them.
is definitely not getting away.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know like what they're really doing with Adam. I don't really like exactly what they're doing with Adam. But I think if we gave some more time to Adam in this episode, it could fix it.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I really would like some good conversations, and I want to have
we're gonna get
a
those.
Team RWBY reunited conversation.
Yes, they
and other than that, I don't really care because I feel like they've set this up to where it's going to be a walk in the park. Like it's going to be a very easy finale to just do well.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, guys, without further ado, let's get into this episode and see how it all ends. All right, having a little recap here.
Yep.
Ending this whole conflict.
All three of the White Fang people that are still
like,
there
there like
Adam.
7 or 8 of them total other than Adam.
Yeah.
I mean, they were planning to infiltrate the place, so they have no chance against an actual, like, army.
Armed force, yeah. Like,
we totally called, though, Blake coming with an army, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, back in Volume 4.
And Ilya, just being awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Redeeming herself in front of her people.
Yeah. Well said.
I'm going to make you regret ever coming back.
Okay, Mr. Edgelord.
On their way, Adam. Huntsman too.
You wish.
Still too afraid to face me on your own.
I'm here for Haven.
Not you.
Not you.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Are they gonna fight?
You're nothing.
You are still afraid, and you should be.
Oh,
I've
crap.
made powerful friends while you've been away.
Oh,
yeah?
I know people.
Where?
Ha!
Yeah.
Tell me, did Blake make all of her classmates fight for
Ooh,
her?
that revolving shot.
Yeah.
It's a volunteer gig.
Yes,
I'm
well
just
said.
saying, for someone who claims to have such great friends, there doesn't seem to be a lot of people here willing to fight for you.
Well said, son. Nice. This is great. I'm glad that Son gives to give Adam like a smackdown.
Yes.
You can try
Verbal
and make
smackdown.
me regret coming here, Adam. But honestly, I've got more important things to deal with.
Yeah!
Nice. Oh, nice. Okay.
No one is
Son!
for
Oh.
taking the
But he's
gunshots.
getting away! We could take him!
No, we can't.
Oh.
He wants to lure us away so he can pick us off.
Oh.
We need to protect the school.
Don't
and
play his
the
game.
Yep.
But this is
Besides,
great because now Adam's the one
Now
running.
he can see
Yeah.
what it feels like to run away.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep.
Poetic.
Oh.
Yeah, we all need help sometimes.
I love it.
Right.
Oh.
But Hazel is.
People who could use yours.
Yeah, go Blake.
Be careful.
No promises.
Wait, where's he going?
I think he's just gonna go help the rest of the White Fang. I'm gonna go deal
Gotcha.
with the
Because see,
rest
they
of the White
can't have gunchucks in this battle. It'd be too OP.
Fang. Yeah.
Surviving.
I don't know how that big guy's still standing. He recharges his aura faster than I've ever seen.
Whoa. Really?
Okay.
Sheer willpower.
They can't bring him down. Jeez.
We just
Okay.
need to get him to his limit.
Yeah, that thing is
You are so done.
Oh.
What?
Okay. Fire and lightning, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, he has dust infused into his body.
Yeah, Blitz!
Yes!
Here we go.
All right. Now,
Are
Yang.
you hurt? No. I
Oh.
just remember you being more of the quiet one.
Oh. This is great.
They're
Not
actually
today.
still sticking with
All
Hazel,
right.
huh?
Well, what's the plan, Ruby?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Coward.
You've
Run,
gotta be
my
kidding
heart.
me.
Oh! Look at their look at him.
Yeah. There's
Checkmate!
ads. Yes!
Checkmate!
Yes!
Yes!
The Mercury and Emerald are the ads for the boss fight.
I warned you, Yang. I gave you every opportunity to walk away from Crow and Oz. So you can believe me when I say this wasn't personal.
I'm looking forward to this
opened the
conversation.
vault.
Thanks to the chaos you and your friends caused upstairs. I knew you could handle it. You're my daughter, after all.
Crow and Oz told me how the maiden powers were transferred. The girl you found. She would have had to have trusted you if you were in her final thoughts.
Yeah.
Cared about you a lot.
I'm sure they told you plenty, and you just sat and obeyed.
No. I'm starting to ask questions like you said. So
Okay.
tell me. What happened to the last spring maiden?
Yes.
Did she die in battle? Was it sickness?
Yeah, we all know what happened.
What does it matter to you?
Wow, yeah.
I could already see the answer.
Jeez.
It's all over your face.
Yeah.
How could you?
She was scared when we found her. Weak. No matter how much training I put her through, she never learned. She wasn't cut out for this world. And with those powers, she would have been hunted her entire life. What I did,
Wasn't personal.
it was mercy.
Which is it, Mom? Are you merciful? Or are you a survivor?
Yeah.
Did you
Yep.
let me walk into that trap because you knew I could handle it? Or because it meant you could get what you wanted?
Whoa.
Oh!
That's simple. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. The choices I've had to make.
Yeah, of course
You
she
don't-
doesn't.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Whose
I
fault
don't
is
know
that?
you.
Yeah.
I only know the Raven Dad told me about.
Whoa.
She was troubled and complicated. But she fought for what she believed in, whether it was her team or her tribe.
Where is she?
Did you kill her too?
Oh! Yeah!
I've stared death in the face over and over again, and every
Avoiding.
time I've spat in that face and
Deflecting.
survived because I'm strong enough to do what others
Whoa.
won't.
She's
So
breaking.
Uh-huh.
You don't know the first thing about strength.
Oh!
Back on
Yeah.
People. You run away when things get too hard.
Yep.
You put others in harm's way instead of yourself.
Yep. Wow. Yeah.
You might be powerful.
But you're not strong.
That doesn't make you strong.
Yeah!
Who do you think you are lecturing me? Standing there shaking like a scared little girl.
Yeah,
Who's shaking?
I'm
Yeah.
scared. But I'm still standing here.
Oh.
I'm not like you.
Nice.
I won't run. Which is why you're going to give me the relic.
Whoa.
And why
What?
would I?
Because you're afraid of Salem!
Oh!
Yeah!
Not having maiden powers put a target on your back? Imagine what she'll do when she finds out you have a relic.
Gosh.
After you with everything she has.
She will.
Or she could come after me. And I'll be standing there, waiting for her.
Oh! That is amazing.
You don't want to do this, Yang.
Oh my god.
Is she actually?
Nope,
She's gonna do it.
but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Raven's beaten.
No.
Look at this. This is incredible.
But no way. Is she? No, don't you dare.
No, she's apologizing. This is
No,
genuine.
is she apologizing for what she did or for what she's going to do?
too.
No, that was genuine. Yeah, she just left. Oh my god.
Wow.
I did not see this coming.
Wow.
And then I guess
Okay.
then Cinder's not coming back then, because
Well, hopefully not, because
No, 'cause, like,
might
why-
have trouble with
no,
Cinder.
why would they have Cinder come back now if Raven's going? Because Raven then believes she's dead, so... Oh my gosh. Okay, what is with the properties of this area?
Yeah,
there seems to be a lack of gravity.
Uh-huh.
Is it the relic?
Yeah, is it just the innate power of the relic, or is this some kind of, like, created universe?
Oh god, what if she, like... What if she understands things once she holds the relic?
Oh,
like,
yeah, because this is the relic of knowledge. Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah. I like how it's like distorting Yang's look and everything.
Yeah, something's happening. Whoa. What's going on?
Oh. She's beginning to know.
No, maybe it's just the emotional weight
Oh,
of the whole thing,
okay, yes, that could be it.
But we'll wait and see. Oh, you coward. You coward. What are you doing?
Watch. Watts is gonna be there, or the Grim thing or something. Yep.
And where might you be going?
Oh.
Your Grace! I was just looking
You're
for
dead.
Yeah, you are so dead.
Leonardo, do you have something you wish to tell me?
Oh my gosh.
It was Cinder! She altered the plan! Huntsman showed up here! Crow! Several students! One with the silver eyes! White Fang attack was stopped!
We've lost.
I don't know that they'll be able to recover the relic. Your Grace, I can
Salem's not responding.
If I leave now, I can avoid the authorities and come behind you. I'll do whatever it takes.
Now the thing is, it's not actually a failure because of his fault. I think it's... She's just upset that now his usefulness is run its course. Oh, that was
stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Now he's realized he's dead already.
Tentacle powers are always OP.
Are we gonna see it?
I'll do anything. I can still be useful.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's so dead.
Coward.
Oh.
Wow.
That's
okay.
enough. Just give up.
Okay.
It's not over. Cinder will come back. She'll have the relic. And
No,
she'll stop all
Yang
of
will
you.
come back with the
She
relic.
won't let us down.
No. Sorry, Emerald. On cue. Here we go.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Yang. Yang. What are you gonna say? Nothing.
Oh. Now don't forget about Hazel right there. Like, but yeah,
Emerald.
yeah.
Oh.
Emerald, get up. We need to go.
Oh.
Emerald.
Oh, dang.
What is she gonna do? Crazy illusion time?
Oh, crap!
What?
Nightmares time! Oh, Emerald, oh my gosh! What? Oh! Oh! Oh, that's amazing! We've theorized that for so long. Oh my gosh. She went full on, like, mass insanity hysteria.
But they didn't try and grab the relic.
What was that?
An illusion.
Yeah.
But an accurate one.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
That
That's Salem.
was Salem.
Yeah. Oh, it knocked
Yeah.
her out.
Mhm.
Dang.
Makes sense.
Oh, and all the
Oh,
all
yeah.
the edge people
And
get together.
No, Hazel is not going to be happy with Adam. Like,
Well, it's over.
mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
The police rounded up the remaining White Fang members. Haven is safe.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it appears that Adam escaped.
It's okay. He was the only one to escape tonight.
Yeah.
Those in the White Fang that followed him won't support a leader that abandons his people.
That's true.
He won't have their help after this.
Yeah.
He'll have no one at all.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
the White Fang will be left divided.
We've been fighting amongst ourselves for too long. Perhaps it's time for a new brotherhood. A new family for faunas truly working towards a better world.
Cool.
And they'll need a new leader.
He's like, fine. Yes!
Uh-huh. Yep. Good going, son.
Go to them, Blake. Yes. Yes.
What happened?
I don't know exactly. When I got down there, Cinder was gone. And Vernal was dead.
And Raven?
She's the maiden.
Gone.
Oh.
Well, we're all glad you're still here, Firecracker.
She didn't even...
Are you okay? I feel like I should be asking you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, the team.
So, Blake, what are you doing here?
I was gonna ask you three the same thing.
No.
That's a long story.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh,
nice. Nice.
That we're all here together. Right?
Right?
You found your heart to pin down.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah. Get in here. Get in here.
Yeah. Group hug.
Here. Oh. I love this song. Me too.
And that's all that matters somehow.
I don't know how, but we did it, Oz. You okay?
What's going on?
I'm alright.
Kid?
He's resting. Too much energy fighting.
Hey, don't strain yourself.
Yeah.
No. He had a message.
Oh.
We must get the lamp to Atlas.
Oh. Poor guy, all tuckered out.
Yeah, because Atlas is the best place to defend it.
I agree.
And they could also probably use it really well there.
Well, also probably has a plan with Ironwood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is great, because that's setting up the next volume of being an Atlas.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh
yes.
All right, we're going through the credits. For sure.
Got to.
So, wow. Okay. I'm excited for the end credits scene. For sure.
I'm excited for the new music.
Yes. Okay, this is pretty good.
I like how it's making the shift back towards the more like hopeful and positive music, you know?
Right.
Because those kinds of songs in Volume 1 were the ones I really loved the most.
Same. Like, I Burn,
I May Fall, This Will Be the Day.
Yeah.
Just so many.
Okay, so with this volume, I feel like they moved everything to where now there's a very specific kind of linear, concurrent, moving plot, and they basically cleaned up a lot of loose ends.
The last bits of basically chaos from season 3, from volume 3, have now been reconciled and brought back together. So now it can be a single story.
Right, and also they are bringing the variables to bear. So now we know where the Spring Maiden is.
Right.
We might have dealt with the Fall Maiden. We'll see.
Yeah.
We have a relic in play.
Yep.
And Ozpin seems to have some kind of plan.
Right. He has his master plan.
Even though we do now have a little bit of reason to doubt Ozpin.
Sure. Yes. Yes.
So many people working on this volume. It's fantastic.
It really is incredible to look at this and be like, oh yeah, from Volume 1, and you know, however many people were working on that, to now.
Yeah, seriously.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, well done, RWBY. I feel like you had a lot of expectations put on this one.
Oh yeah.
That where people were coming in a little bit pessimistic, and maybe a little bit just kind of, you know, like, oh, I hope RWBY does better, or I'm out, or something. But no, I really appreciate the extra effort in a whole lot of areas of this volume. There are a lot of things that that in particular were given special attention to.
Right.
And I really appreciate also the extra 2 episodes. You really felt it this volume.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. I like how they're, like, as you see, like, with each volume it's progressing and stuff, and it's not trying to stay what it was when it started. Right. And that seems to be a lot of the criticism I'll see, is that people will be like, oh, it's not like what it used to be, and it's like, no, it's evolving, it's progressing.
Here's some of the names of the songs that we see.
Okay, Path to Isolation, Mirror Part Point 5,
Smile, Ignite,
the Triumph, All Things Must Die, All That Matters, This Time. Okay. Cool. Awesome.
All Things Must Die, I think, came with Cinder versus Raven.
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, special thanks to the Owen family, definitely. So many awesome people.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, though, this episode, you know who kind of was the standout person other than Barbara Dunkelman for voice acting with Yang? Was Anna Holland for Raven.
Yeah, she did a great job. Like, because if anything, that was the biggest thing I would say we needed to see from Raven.
We did, yeah.
Up till now was more of the emotion.
Right, because it gets us into why her character does what she does.
Exactly, yes. Because it's not a problem that she hadn't shown much emotion up till now. That she kind of had to. That was something that it was very clearly something she was putting on, right?
Okay. End credits.
Yep.
Last time it was Crow is a Crow, so what's this one? Taiyang.
Yep.
Raven went to Taiyang.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Come on.
He's like, oh boy. Yeah, he knows what that means.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
okay, we can watch this. Sure. Nomad of Nowhere. It's high noon. Yeah. Oh, now going just straight to Genlock? Okay. Cool.
Gotcha.
Panel lock release phase 4.
Are you rushing off?
You said to go to field trials.
I didn't say to drop him in the middle of a city. As
Oh,
soon as they
okay.
figure out what he is, they will come hunting. For him and for you.
Given what we're seeing here,
looks pretty cool.
You can stop worrying about Chase as much.
No, I think I'll keep worrying about him a little longer. How's he holding up?
Still adjusting, but full of surprises. We were
Okay.
very lucky to find him. He
Awesome.
wasn't, but...
What about others? How's recruiting?
Okay.
There are some new possibilities, but we may need to get more flexible on the side.
It's like the RWBY with the silhouettes.
I know.
They'll have to do, won't they?
Ida.
See how we're going to turn this
I
around.
hope that is a
Oh,
reference.
don't give up hope yet. We're just getting started.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, I'm hyped for that.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh. Oh, yes, please.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
So,
Volume 5 is over.
It is.
And I'm gonna miss it. I
am too.
I know we get RWBY Chibi immediately after this,
Which will be very helpful.
which is fantastic. But
yes,
I feel like there's so much warmth and happiness that's about to come from the next like few episodes of like story content.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but we just got RWBY back together finally, and now we're done with the show
like,
for another like 6 months at least. Which
I know.
Which, here's something crazy, guys. RWBY Volume 6 is already announced and everything. Like they're moving along.
You're telling me they aren't canceling it after Volume 5?
No, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well played. But Baka. The RWBY Volume 6 is coming this year and in the fall. Like.
Yep.
They're just moving along. So with this being the ending, I feel like it goes without saying, but we do need to say it. We will definitely be doing a RWBY Volume 5 recap stream.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
You should be seeing it after you're done watching this episode this coming Saturday.
Right.
So the 27th of January.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing a RWBY Volume 5 recap stream, discussing the whole thing.
Yep.
And we'll have it starting at 4 p.m. PST. So see you there. But let's do some discussion bits on this episode.
Okay, so
it was a conversation episode.
It was a conversation episode, and I love how it went. Like there were so many great conversations. It was like so many of the lines we could like see coming because it was just it built up to them. It was dripping with it. Like they had to say those things.
Yes.
It was so
I'm
perfect.
here for Haven, not you. Oh! What? That is so perfect for Blake to say because I feel like that's the one we could talk about forever. But with Blake's story, Blake's story has been about her past for far too long. And up until recently, she's been a reactive character. But now in this volume and a little bit in Volume 4, she became more proactive.
Yes, which is a welcome change. And it's not just that she's being proactive. It's not that she's like learning to like, oh, I will finally conquer Adam or whatever.
Right,
it's like, no, I'm just gonna forget about him. I'm
gonna keep moving forward past him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. Like
I
love
honestly,
that so much.
I have better things to do here.
It was so good.
Okay, I want to say that Jacob, you wanted Adam skewered on a pike, and I've been saying no. I want him to be humiliated.
Oh yeah,
I want him to.
Why not both? Both is good.
Yes, Jacob, but I think Blake's actions here are the point of saying no. This is really what needs to happen. People need to see him for what he is.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Adam's character is one of self-destruction.
Yes.
When you go down that path of spite and hate, you really have nothing to stand on.
Right. And what I want to see is I still am holding out hope for the shish kebabbed Adam. But what I think will happen is that it'll be at the hands of the bad guys.
Okay, well, I think you need to like look at this episode, see what happened, and realize why that's not the point of Adam's arc.
No. But I just think that'd be the perfect cherry on top.
But that's the thing; he's already ruined.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah.
It's just going to keep happening.
Yep, because he will keep digging his own grave
deeper.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, here's the thing that's interesting. We thought Cinder might pop up again this episode.
But
just kind of go through the villains. She did not.
Right,
so
which is
that
very interesting.
I think we should not discuss Cinder because she wasn't in this episode. So I just want to get this through right now.
Yeah.
Do you still think she's alive?
Yes.
Okay, because I do too.
Absolutely.
But
that makes me more excited for what they're going to do with her because she didn't go back to Salem with Hazel now.
Yeah. But the point is, Leo threw her under the bus, and for her to get out of the vault, she has to go out through the vault. So
that's true.
It's really like not looking good for her, even if she is alive, because it seems almost now a little bit unrealistic that she would be alive. So I just want to put out there that I've now moved from like definite she's being alive to like 70% that she's alive.
Okay, sure.
I don't know why Miles and Carrie didn't decide to have some kind of very visible transfer thing, but let's just move on from that.
Right.
Adam gets punked so hard by Sun and Blake in verbal justice. It was so beautiful.
It was
we both called
delicious.
each individual lines. You were like, not you.
Yeah.
And then delivered. And then the best line ever from Son of, yeah, where they at,
Yeah,
though?
exactly. Like,
we need literally Hammer Time. If you watch our reactions, I don't know, but you need to do the news guy, where they at, though? Where they at, though? Because like Hazel already gave him his line last episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is your problem. Deal with it.
Yes, which was so great, and I love that because Adam was constantly all like, "I'm awesome," and look at me and my big sword, you know,
puff out my chest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then now he's like, "But I know people that are powerful," you know, and it's like, do you really think they care about you? And like,
well, not only that, like, sure, cool. Glad you do. Where are they right now?
Exactly.
Not here. They don't care about you.
Yep.
Deal with it.
It was.
I like that he wasn't captured though.
Yes,
because I have to say they kind of. I think RWBY kind of made a mistake by having it seem like he could have been captured.
It seems kind of like he already was captured.
Right, in the previous
last
episode. What I think they should have done is instead of going for the Blake jukes and then bodies him.
I mean, that was fantastic.
Is instead have him do his little freak out with the bomb and stuff, but then have him continue to rant and ramble to where everyone just kind of parts away from him. Like they're just like,
that would have been cool.
Like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah,
we're past you.
Right.
And then Blake and Son just have like it's over, and he's like, no, it's not over, and then they would end his little bit.
Okay. I really like what we got though, and I like that they kept his character open and out there so that we can see more awesome comeuppance on him in the future.
Exactly. If anything, he will be a good punching bag in the future. Because I feel like this, if Cinder dies, we need that next kind of stage of escalation. It doesn't need to happen in the power level side of things, but the stakes. So one of the things that they've been doing is they've been attacking schools. And this is their first time failing, getting a school to be taken down.
And if they're taking the relic to Atlas, then that means Atlas is certainly going to be the next school on the chopping block.
Probably. Or and this would actually be way more strategic than taking things to Atlas. I think what Salem should do is she should make a move herself and just go and obliterate Vacuo. And then leave them all isolated on an island.
That would be really cool because this is one of the other things they could do with that. I would say if I could point out like the biggest weakness of this volume, is that the whole battle for Haven was fantastic, but there was a lot of time spent basically building up to that when we already knew it was coming and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think like in volume 6, if they wanted to have there be another attack, and this time be on Vacuo, they could have them be spending time in Atlas, and it's like, okay, they get the relic there, we see General Ironwood a bit more, and then it's like, oh crap, Vacuo is under attack, like right now we need to get over there, like,
and it's just too
now
late.
If we can, and it's either too late or they're able to get there and they see the aftermath, or they're able to get there and try and stop it or something. But then if the relic is left in Atlas, that allows more opportunity for Dictator Ironwood. Which I am really hoping to see.
We have Dictator Ironwood in Atlas, along with Winter Schnee, but we also have Watts, who was sent back to Atlas.
That's
so
true.
It might be that we're completely off base in that they're going to stop the school thing. It just might be that now the focus shifts over to Atlas, and I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
but
I'm curious.
I would say that we are probably around the halfway point for the show. Like I could see 5 to 7 more volumes.
Yeah, I can see that.
And with this volume being concluded with a good guy victory, it would be nice to have a breather volume with high tension moments, but more grand scale kind of maneuvering, more strategizing and positioning of the pieces on the board, and then also going more in depth into specific things about the overall grand scale conflict. They could bring it into another intrigue.
They could. Here's one of the things I'm curious about.
Volume,
Does
though?
any one of the good guys know the identity of Watts?
No, none.
And that, I think, could be a real problem.
That's actually a really good thing. Watts has a flawless track record so far. He was the one that disabled Beacon. Like, He basically disabled not only them, but the Elysian paladins and everything, turned them against them.
That's true. The biggest thing against Watts, though, is that on all the key moments when it's like big stuff is going down, he's not present.
Well, that's the point, is why he has a great track record, is he doesn't swing the bat as often as someone like Cinder.
You can't lose the game if you don't play.
Yeah. Well, I think Watts only plays when he's guaranteed to win.
Exactly.
He's not a coward. He's a very intelligently positioned.
Like he just showed up to negotiate to when they went to say Raven's camp.
Yeah.
And that was like it. Like I thought he was actually going to be a part of the battle, but then it's like, oh, I guess he's not a fighter, which is great.
Which is great. I think the evil Council of Evil needs an intellectual,
right?
Because Cinder is definitely not that. Tyrion is 100% not that. And I like that Hazel isn't that either. Hazel is kind of the high wisdom, high brawn, like high,
exactly.
Kind of character who has the stoic kind of persona of power,
right?
But he doesn't need a high charisma,
right? If anything, Cinder is probably the high charisma, maybe one of the three of Hazel, Tyrion, and them, and then Tyrion's like the
Watts might be intellect-ish, kind of
person.
the intellect charisma,
Yeah.
But anyway,
sure,
the bit of transitioning things away from the White Fang quickly to being Hazel can't be taken down.
Right, and Oscar was like, okay, we just need to push him to his limit, which doesn't seem to exist. So that makes me really excited for any future conflicts with Hazel, because it'll be this thing. They're basically setting the stage where we know what we're dealing with, and whenever Hazel is on screen, it's basically we need to buy time.
Yes, or at the very least, we need to keep him occupied so that he doesn't actually do any damage. We just kind of keep him crowd controlled off to the side.
Right, which is
we need someone with some kind of sleeping semblance.
Yeah, exactly.
But come on, let's make it happen. Atlas has probably got some technological stuff.
No, what they need to do, if they want a single individual that can basically keep Hazel distracted, they need Penny 2.0.
That's probably coming in volume 6.
That's what I'm thinking too, and I really want to see.
Yeah, well, let's keep the theories for the stream. Let's
okay, fair point.
With this episode, though, one of the things that they did a couple times that was a little bit interesting was they had kind of a tease of a fight, and then the screen kind of panned away over to something else. So they had it with Sun, Adam, and Blake. And then Adam just booked it and ran away. I like that they didn't chase after him.
Yep,
and they gave a good reason for that, because it's Adam's not a
complete idiot.
Not a complete idiot, but he's also not a weak fighter.
Right.
He is one of the strongest people in the younger not the older people group.
And it's established that he specifically works well when someone is attacking him rather when he's attacking someone else. Hence why Blake was able to punk him so hard with simple sidestep.
Sure, there you go. The other one, though, was when they called checkmate, and then they cut to Yang and Raven.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's
I like that they hit us in the nostalgia feels.
But I would have liked to see that.
But I feel like it was kind of a clever way to go. We blew our budget on Raven and Cinder.
Sure. Well, and it's also kind of apropos that they said checkmate, because it's basically like, you guys have lost.
We won,
Yeah.
But also it's great to see Team RWBY being back together. And to be fair, RWBY gave that kind of that bit of where she just wordlessly communicates the plan, but her plan was literally to split them up and then to send in two of their fresh, strongest fighters to deal with them initially. She shoots at Leo, the weak link of the four of them. He immediately runs away because, let's be real, if someone shot a 50 caliber sniper rifle at you from that distance, I wish they actually would have shown that one shot could have taken out a huge chunk of his aura, and he's just like, oh crap, my aura's out, and he ran away.
Sure.
But this makes him look even more cowardly.
Right, because it's like he didn't necessarily have a reason to run. It's just like, oh no, someone's attacking me.
No. I felt like he basically realized, oh, it's actually over now.
Right, yeah.
And
Yep.
Him running, even though it wasn't really fully over.
Right.
Sets up a great scene later.
Yes.
But
I was kind of surprised that they didn't have that they didn't actually show the Tentacle Grim killing Leo, and I kind of like that they did that because even though we've seen, like, say, Adam stabbing Sienna Khan, right, the fact that they panned away and didn't show it gave the impression that it was even more brutal.
Well, that was the thing. Right before he, right as he was about to die, she wasn't responding to him, and right before he goes to shoot something at the Grim thing, I was like, are they going to show this? Because one of the things they had hinted at previously was that the show will show some decent violence when the thing was strangulating him back in the earlier episodes. And this time they went for the full-on pierced multiple times through the heart
and the
version,
and the wounded cries of please no, after he'd been stabbed once.
One of the other things, I don't know if they were having this be a thing, but his voice notably changed. Please.
Yep.
But one of the things that they could have been hinting at in the location of where this thing stabbed through the neck.
Yeah.
And I might have heard the slightest liquid gargle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, they went there. That seemed like straight out of like that bit where he was pulled back felt straight out of a horror movie.
Oh,
kind of the thing of
Fate Zero or something?
Well, no. Like the typical camera shot where you show something to the side and someone gets dragged off screen by a monster and then there's sound effects of them dying. I was just like, oh, that's cool. But strangely enough, the very next really scene with the antagonist involves a horror type element as well in Emerald.
Oh, that's right. And that was how they brought the bit from the opening in, which was great. I was like,
they literally brought the whole opening into this show.
Because that's the big question. It's like okay, even if Salem does show up,
why would she be big? Tall. Yeah, that's weird.
That doesn't make sense.
Nope.
It's like
Emerald went full on semblance nightmares.
Yep.
I think they're hinting at something here. This is something that I talked about on...
Now that Ilya's redemption arc is done, Emerald's is going to go back into it?
No. Listen to this here. So, John has some kind of aura amplification, aura transfer ability, okay?
Yeah.
We have learned specifically from this volume, because they're trying to concisely communicate all the aura semblance exposition, that semblances can evolve. Now, yes, Emerald released her semblance in a powerful moment of emotion, very strong negative emotion, because she loves Cinder.
Right.
There's an attachment there. There's a connection there. She really cares for Cinder because Cinder reached out to her first. And when that happened, her semblance did something that we've never seen her do before.
Right.
And also it specifically breaks the limit of what she had said her semblance could do previously.
Well, it didn't necessarily break the limit.
It extended it.
It extended it.
It went past it.
Right, which is why I thought it was a really nice touch that when they're running away, it shows Hazel carrying her on his shoulder.
Yes, that's very important.
It's a way to basically say that there's a limiter. It's like we didn't completely forget about that.
Right.
We bent the rules, but we didn't break them.
But you know what that means, right? Everyone's semblance has some stages to which it can grow and evolve, which brings credence to our theory that Jean will be able to maybe eventually drain aura or overload someone with aura like a Grim.
Yeah,
because Grim don't respond well to aura and just destroy it. And we've got some theories with that, but we'll save this. I just wanted to bring up evolving semblances because of great emotional stress and heightened, because souls, emotions, connected very, very much so.
They want to be the very best.
No. But what were you going to say?
Okay, we have to address the elephant in the room. That conversation between Yang and Raven was amazing.
I'm really glad they didn't. I'm really glad we had that conversation, but we didn't they didn't hold back on it. Basically, they didn't make it short.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long conversation.
Right. And I'm really glad that Raven didn't see. I'm getting Raven and Salem mixed up when I'm talking because I didn't really like Raven much up till this point. But this episode really made me like Raven a whole lot more. I mean, okay, last episode was awesome and Raven was very badass and it was amazing.
Well, the last 2 episodes in particular did a lot for Raven.
Yes, but this one especially because it went beyond just the things that Raven is capable of doing and went into the things of what Raven will and won't do.
Right.
Which is much more interesting to me. I mean, as awesome as that fight was.
You know how Blake said, you know how someone is the personification of that word?
Yep.
You know what Raven's is? Fear. Raven is afraid.
Yeah.
Some people might say that as, no, she's a survivor. But you know what's the...
people only go into survival mode when they're afraid.
When they're afraid.
Yep.
People make bad choices when they're sad or mad or scared or stressed.
Yep.
And I feel like Raven's choice to bring on power is very similar to Cinder's desire to bring on power in that...
Right.
Like, Cinder was probably the type of person that was in a state of fear before she had power.
But I get the feeling with Cinder it was a lot of greed, too.
Well, yes, but Raven killed the previous Spring Maiden specifically out of mercy, as she calls it, when in actuality, she's scared of the future. She sees Ozpin and what he can do.
And what he's not doing.
And what he's not able to do because of Salem and what she can do. So she basically has already determined that Ozpin will basically lose. For one, probably because she's seen how underhanded his tactics are sometimes. Utilizing people for his own ends.
Right.
But Salem does the same thing, but she seems to be winning. So Raven has decided, I can only trust me. I need the power for me for me to survive. But there's so many nuanced aspects of her motivations now because of not only this conversation, but because of the last episode. So we are building up quite well the eventual Team Stark flashback.
Yep. And I love that
it's gonna be good.
I love that she went back to Patch. Like, I mean, because it makes sense that would be the only place she could go back to.
It's where her other portal is.
Exactly, but that is going to make for such amazing character interactions in the next volume. Even though I am a little bit suspicious because it's like none of the main characters are there. Like,
you mean other than Tai Yang?
Well, no, Tai Yang's there, but he's a side character. Like, he is.
I know.
He is very important.
But he's a member of Team Stark.
He is a member of Team Stark, yes. But as far as like how much screen time he's had so far in the show,
he's totally even a tertiary character.
Yeah. But either way, like the way they handled all that stuff was so amazing. I love how Yang basically delivered all her lines, not just the lines themselves, but like at some points I was like, wait, is that really Barb? That was so good.
They were really good.
It was fantastic.
And I think this is where RWBY has taken a massive leap forward, and the fandom has kind of given them the recognition they deserve,
but not really.
The dialogue has improved tremendously. Because there were moments in Volume 1 and 2 where we kind of laughed off the dialogue because it was kind of a fun, quirky web series at the time. But now we've gotten to epic fantasy storytelling, and there's heart and emotion in this dialogue. I mean, oftentimes we'll get into the exposition stuff, but no, they've been doing character-based exposition.
They have.
Character-based emotional diatribe and dialogue.
With proper like build-up and foreshadowing and stuff. Like this conversation that we had here would not have meant nearly as much as it did if we hadn't gotten all the conversations that Yang had with Raven and the conversations she had with other people and just the growth that Yang has gone through.
Yeah, I really can't tell whether or not Yang is my favorite character in terms of growth, or if it's Weiss.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so tough.
It's really tough.
Because that line that Yang delivers to Raven, like, and if Salem comes for the relic, then I'll be waiting for her. Like, Whoa! What?
Well, not only that, because you're scared of Salem.
Yep.
And you can see that Yang is scared of saying that to Raven,
right?
Even
Because
while she's knows she's right.
Yes, because Raven is cold enough that it's like. At least certainly that's what she seemed like before this point, that it's like she could just decide to kill Yang and take the relic and portal out of there.
Well, that was the thing I was really kind of weirded out, that you jumped to that so quickly when Raven said, "I'm sorry." Because you noticed the tonal shift in her voice, right? It was hurt. Raven was actually in pain from that conversation. There was an element of these words that Yang is delivering to her are striking home. They're striking deep. And Raven doesn't have any defense up.
Well, yes.
So she left because
because
it hurt too much, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. But the reason why I was worried in the moment is because we've shown that Raven does not allow herself to act based on emotion.
But she did.
But she did there.
No, before that, she started to break down. She was starting to, like, how dare you, like...
Well, yes.
And that was already her breaking down. Like, she wasn't in a... She wasn't in a vindictive mode, or even in a hated mode. She was... She was like... Like, I am hurt that you would say these things about me. Like, there's a selfishness to it, but there's also a pain to those words.
And that is why I was the most worried, because if they wanted to have something that would rip our heart out and just take us like down to the depths, right? It would be basically going from Raven being like Yang giving all these amazing points and seeing that it is affecting Raven, but then to basically see that when rubber meets the road, Raven is going to make her decision based on, her own priorities, not based on, her daughter.
I would have I would have cried foul on that one.
Oh,
Raven's character
really?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Raven's character is such that she is she has very definite exceptions. She has very definite exceptions.
Okay.
And Yang is the main one. The only person that I saw her even close to breaking the exception for was Crow. And that was in those specific moments where they had their talk about being family right before the fight. And that was where I was like, oh, you're getting dangerously close to being like a bit too off in the characterization side of things, because Raven's character was more of just hearsay based on other characters' opinions. But once we got into the last two episodes, including this one, Raven's character started to come forward, and we started to see something else. And I felt like if they circumvented that and jumped back all the way to have her do anything harmful in the slightest to Yang, I would have cried foul.
Okay. That's perfectly valid.
That's my opinion.
I think you might because my opinion of Raven has completely changed after this episode, right? This episode specifically.
But you didn't have anything change based on the previous episode.
No, it was just she's more capable, right? It was nothing about her as a person, right?
Really?
No,
because the reveal didn't change anything for you.
No, it just meant that she was smarter.
Oh, we might need to talk about that before we do the stream, because I think you missed some things that are inferred, like kind of what they brought up a little bit, in that Vernal was never the Spring Maiden.
No, I know. No, I no. Yeah,
but that gives you insight.
That makes Raven seem colder, because she, going down there, she would know that Cinder would turn on them. That means she knew that Vernal was probably going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And she did care about Vernal a lot, enough to have a portal open to her at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that and the way that she had been set up so far seemed to be a lot more of the cold, calculating person, which is why I appreciated so much that they made her more competent, because having someone be cold and calculating but incompetent, it's kind of like
I saw someone who was hiding. I saw someone scared who postured a lot.
I did definitely see the posturing.
And I actually think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people compared Adam to her in some ways, was there was this feeling of
other than the red sword.
The visual stuff definitely, but also the extreme ideology that doesn't really sit right with the way, even though their character has done things that are horrible, it doesn't even sit right with the character. It's like they're trying too hard. Yeah. And I think the reason why Raven specifically has not only her ideology, but the trying too hard aspect of her character is that she is a fake. And that's more of a reference of the mask, is that she is playing a character for the ends justifying the means. Meaning that her true nature is not that character. That character is necessary for her goals to be met. But when she's confronted with something that calls out her true nature, like Yang, I was like, no way are they going to have her deny that.
Well, because
it's so powerful to have it come from your daughter.
Yes, and the moment was amazingly powerful. There was something that I was a little bit peeved about, though.
Ooh, what's that?
Is that so? Do you remember back before when Raven opens the portal for Yang, right?
Yes.
And there's this moment where she makes this point of, the next time like we meet, if it's like, it'll probably be on opposite ends of a battle or field or something like that. And
basically,
I'm not going to give you any mercy because you're my daughter, right? I'm going to treat you like any other person.
She says something like that.
She says something like that, right?
Yes.
And the kind of the overall issue that I had with this scene is that Raven executed this maneuver like flawlessly to get the relic. She sacrificed Vernal's life, right? And all of that.
Right.
And
choked at the last minute.
And
I think that's perfect.
I think it can be fantastic because it is based on what the character will and won't do.
But it wasn't something that was a bait and switch in this episode. They built up to it. And I want to say...
That's the thing. I don't think they really did.
No, because we actually talked about it. In the previous episode, when she goes up to actually open the relic door, she's trembling. She is actually scared. And this is the thing. No one is there for her to act in front of.
Sure.
So, this is her true self.
Yeah,
Once Yang shows up, she shifts and puts the character back on of being the cold, heartless leader.
Okay.
And I think this is something that they've wanted to show as a distinction between her and someone like Adam, is that Adam is rotten to the core. Raven has made decisions that have rotted her, meaning that they have compromised who she is for her for her goals.
This was the other issue that I had with it.
Okay.
If she was able to take such precautions like setting everything up and letting Vernal die, because she probably knew that she would, to get the relic and everything like that, she would know, like, since her whole goal was to get the relic, that would make Cinder come down on her like a whirlwind, right? So. Or not Cinder, Salem, sorry. So given that, wouldn't she have already basically decided that, yeah, I'm okay with Salem coming after me, since I'm a maiden and I'll have a relic, I'll be okay, right? It basically seems like she would have known beforehand without Yang reminding her, since she was shown to be very intelligent and calculating.
We don't know what she was planning to do with the relic, and that's actually one of the things that I want to save for the stream, because I have some relic theories now based on not only where they were hiding this, because it's not really clear as to where they were hiding the relic, and more on that later, but Raven grabbing the relic, and also Yang now having the relic, and there wasn't some massive flash or power. I don't think we know exactly
what the relic does.
Yes, what the relic does, but why Ozpin decided to hide the relics instead of just use them. So that's why I don't think Raven going after the relics, and at the moment where she realizes that she's being called out on who she really is, kind of a coward, much like Leo was in this, so someone who hides.
Yep.
That she would choke, because with the relics in particular, I don't think it's something like the maidens where in story terms it's a boost. Right. I don't think the relics are a boost.
No.
I also don't think that there's something that would be really as helpful as we'd think with
there was a reason they were locked away, whereas the maiden powers weren't. It wasn't just that the maiden powers needed to be the key to getting the relics. Maiden powers are not as big of an issue if you get them, whereas the relics, if they're locked away, they probably are. Like I kind of expected almost like a Mass Effect 1 thing of like the
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but that didn't happen.
Right.
So I don't think the relics
which
are...
makes me way more excited, because that means they're probably going to go for something more subtle and mystical rather than like big flash explosion-y things.
Right. So I would say let's hold off on the relic associated stuff.
Okay.
But with Raven's character being a cold, heartless person who does whatever it takes because the ends justify the means, for her goals, versus a person who's scared playing a character so that they can have the ends justifying the means, that actually is internal conflict. And I would say that's better writing than the alternative.
Right. And yes. And the internal conflict is fantastic, right?
Yes.
One of the things that I would say was one of the things before we realized the internal conflict that made Raven so interesting was the idea that she was very proactive. She was proactive enough to, even though she was basically by herself, I mean, she had Vernal too, but even though she was basically by herself, she could be considered a third faction in this war. Right?
She instigated plot.
Exactly.
She split up Team Stark.
Right.
She set Crow basically down probably his drinking path.
Yeah, she did so many things. And
she was probably the cause indirectly, very much so, of Summer Rose's death.
That's a definite possibility.
She created the problems with Tai Yang, to which passed down to Yang and RWBY.
Yep. There were so many things that she caused to have happen in the story.
Yes.
And when it comes down to where I would most like to see conflict, I would have found it way more interesting to see, well, not way more interesting, but I would have personally preferred to see conflict of, we now know who she really is, but she still decides to take the relic in the end, and then now it's what's she going to do with it? Because Raven, you're not entirely stable. We will get a ton of awesome stuff, I'm sure, in Volume 6 with her and Tai Yang, but it seems like one of those things where now they have to make sure to keep giving us those awesome bits of internal conflict and stuff, because otherwise it will seem like just this one random thing that happened, even though, yes, it was Yang, so there was very good reason for it, that basically caused things to be able to go well for the good guys as opposed to...
Yeah, I think you're ignoring a little bit of the Raven build-up this volume.
I get the whole hand trembling thing, and yes, it was very clear posturing in Raven's camp.
Yes.
But...
also just why she was out there. Why she wasn't actively actually being proactive with the fight. She was hiding with them. She only really goes to go after the relic once she realizes Cinder and all them are.
Right.
She basically saw, this was I would rather have anyone have the relic other than them. So she gets involved, puts, everything in there.
Okay.
And... yeah, there we have what we have now.
Okay, sure. All right, and it's one of those things where, in hindsight, it is foreshadowing, definitely.
But it's not. It's not retconned at all.
No.
No, what it is it's characterization that's ambiguous and it's conflicted, and I think that's a thing that's good. If you saw zero conflict in Raven prior to this episode, I'm very confused.
The only conflict that I saw in Raven prior to this episode was that trembling hand.
Whoa!
All the other time,
I think you go read and watch the whole camp.
No, because the thing is, just because someone is basically deciding not to fight or deciding to run, or maybe they're afraid, that does not mean that what they're doing is based on fear. It can be based on simply, this is what's tactically best. I know I can't defeat Salem right now, so I'll just stay in hiding and keep.
I always assume some kind of emotion based around character decisions, because people don't make decisions based on logic. They make decisions based on emotion, and I know that's kind of a controversial thing to bring up, but psychology, people make decisions. People make decisions primarily based on emotion. So fear isn't,
I totally saw it as still being an emotion that Raven was having. But I saw it more of being a thing of, she doesn't like Ozpin and Crow in them, so she's deciding to do it on her own because she feels herself more capable. because of all the things that they've messed up in the past. Some
we can discuss this another time. Yeah. That's really good stuff, though. I think that Raven's character being complex enough to bring up this much discussion is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Because what it means is we have more depth for her character times 100 than we had previously. And another thing that they brought up more this volume, and specifically this episode, was they brought in a lot more depth to Yang. And I feel like this is a good side development for her along the trauma kind of that she's been overcoming over the course of this, is she's accepted the fact that she isn't the strongest. She isn't going to overcome everything instantly.
Right.
She acknowledged her own fears in that instance.
Yep.
But she made choices that spat in the face of those things coming against her. That's why I think that's the difference between her and Raven. Raven kind of reacts when a force stronger than her rears its head up.
I have absolutely no problem with that scene, taken as itself. I think it is absolutely beautiful. It was just, fit into the rest of the narrative. I had a bit of issues with it. Yes, all the stuff with Yang was
totally agree with you.
It was poetry.
It was really worth it.
The fact that that Yang is able to say that when she had been so scared of Adam, just from PTSD stuff earlier, and now she's saying that about
to her actual mother
and to her actual mother.
Raven.
No, she was saying about Salem.
Gotcha.
And she's saying
even though she still doesn't really know the threat they're facing.
No, she doesn't. But that just goes so far to show how much Yang has grown.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
To be fair, though, it's something that might have just triggered her PTSD again, was seeing that.
That's true. Yeah, it's like, so that's what I said I would wait for. Okay.
Yeah, about that.
Training montage.
Mom, you want the relic back? I'm good. She hands it to Crow. Crow immediately drops it.
Yeah.
Luck.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Let's have Crow take the relic to Haven.
I was just gonna say that. Crow, you better not drop it.
Yeah. It's like there's no way that could go badly, right?
Crow's like, he lamp. He rubs it 3 times and it just shatters. It's like,
or he's just like walking into Atlas with the relic, just holding it out in the open, and Watts just walks by and he's like, what?
That's a good point, though. Watts shouldn't know what the relic looks like. In fact,
that's true.
No one should really know what the relic looks like except Ozpin and maybe Salem.
Sure.
So here's something that's kind of a cool thing, is now that the relic has been brought in as a medium of connection. Yeah, it's a MacGuffin medium to the old conflict.
Right.
The gods and Salem and Ozpin and all that.
Yep.
What kind of exposition, if any, are you expecting to come from this via Ozpin?
Well, there will be some, but what I'm really excited about is I get the feeling it will be after we see the effects of it being used somehow.
Okay,
whether it's what happened, did Yang get some glimpse of something back there?
Yeah, because she cried.
And that could have totally been the discussion she had with her mom. It's one of those ambiguous things where it really could be either one, and either one is great.
And I wanted us to not miss out on the fact that she had just done something incredible.
Yes, absolutely.
And the stress of that probably just hit her when she realized did it.
Oh.
And that's just fantastic.
And
Yang has needed a win for a long time.
Yeah, she has. Yeah. And one other thing, that song that started playing.
Oh, when the Lost and Found kind of song. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about it. RWBY's reunion.
That was...
Son, you are great, and I'm glad that you didn't tag along with Blake.
Right, but you gave her that little push.
That little push.
Yeah.
Just sending her on, because every once in a while Blake's like, that looks a little bit... okay, here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Good friends know when they need to sit there and listen to you, or when they need to give you a kick in the butt.
Exactly.
And Son's character has fit into that kind of that wavering middle where he gets a little bit too overbearing sometimes, but he also says exactly what needs to be said. Right.
It's that thing where that's a lot of his charm, because he'll very much be trying to do the best thing, but a lot of times it'll just end up being overbearing. Right. Whereas in this case, it was like the right judgment to be like, this is exactly what you need to do.
This is exactly what you need to do.
This is exactly what Blake needs.
Right. Yeah. And when Blake shows up, and they are just kind of like, so, Blake, what are you doing here? Yeah. It's not like this thing of them having this gushing kind of overdramatic display of emotion because they're tired. Yeah. It's like, wow, it's good to see you.
Right.
And why are you here? Like,
because that's after the battle, right? Because she just came in and like attacked Hazel at that point.
Yeah. But this is after the nightmare,
after all of that
hallucination.
Exactly.
And all that.
Yep, and that was so good. And then of course,
but then the music starts, and then there's kind of this moment of, we're glad to have you back, and they look at Yang like, right, we're glad to have you back,
and the song starts playing,
and it has that little pause just for Yang to be like, of course.
That was.
This just makes me smile. This is the thing about RWBY, is that this is a show that should get you to smile so hard your cheeks hurt, and to be in so much shock and stress that you cry and shake and heave a little bit.
Yeah.
And when it goes too far into like the dark and moody, broody stuff, it loses a lot of the charm.
Yeah, because
this episode went all across that spectrum.
It did.
And when it went to the far end of the happy, wholesome warmth end of the spectrum, it just did it. So I really got to applaud them for having a finale that gave us the gamut of emotions instead of just going for full hyper,
right? Or just being like, let's throw in some anime tears,
or like another twist. Oh no!
Right? Exactly. It's like they trust us enough to know how awesome this moment is.
Yes.
And just in case we didn't quite get it, they're like, we're going to take this amazingly awesome song, which we totally need the full version of, by the way, and we'll just sort of slip that in there for them.
Oh, yeah. And that felt like Home 2.0 in all the right
really
ways.
Did.
Like, I don't feel like it was ripping off Home at all.
No.
But
I
it
think
gave
this
me
will actually end up being better than Home.
Yeah, it could.
I almost don't want to say that because
I don't either.
But like,
but with this song coming in at this particular moment, we didn't really need the help, but it was.
I'm so glad we got it.
Yeah. Thank you guys. That was sweet.
Yeah, thank you, RWBY.
And
you're amazing.
I don't really have anything to say other than I'm just glad they gave the group hug. And that Ozpin and Oscar's bit was mainly just to give a sense of agency for the story's direction.
Yes.
And they don't need much more than that.
Nope.
They don't really need any more. That little bit of showing the emeralds being passed out from using her semblance and over exhausting her aura, probably.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yep.
But they didn't even need to show that. I think that that was something that was just a nice little addition.
My favorite part about that wasn't actually the fact that Emerald had passed out. It was actually the fact that Hazel was carrying her.
Oh.
Because up till this point, Emerald and Mercury had basically just been Cinder's lackeys, right? I didn't think that any of the other Evil League of Evil people would actually care about them, right? And maybe it's just one of those things of like, okay, they're allies. It's
necessity
helpful to keep them around or whatever.
Potentially.
But it made me think back to Hazel's whole thing of no one needed to die today.
Right.
And the whole idea of, his sister and all that. And then it's like, okay, so now he's,
that's a
carrying
good
Emerald
point.
out of there. It's like, okay,
Hazel feels like the uncle that just had a really bad day one day, and it kind of set him along the wrong path.
Right.
But all in all, he does have some belief. He does have some right and wrong beliefs, basically, where he can still distinguish the difference between right and wrong for very specific things, and leaving Emerald and Mercury alone, even though it might have just been, well, I owe her, she saved our lives.
Right. But
I feel like it would be really cool to have an Emerald and Mercury that are in a, well, what's our purpose now? And Uncle Hazel is basically just stick with me.
Exactly. Like Hazel makes me think of the Phantom Troop.
He does.
Like how some of the Phantom Troop members are like, they're bros, you know? Even though they might be doing, you know, some shady stuff.
Right.
You know, and it's like, I hope to see more of that. Because Crazy Tyrion is not what I look for in a cast, a group of characters.
If anything, I would like to see, when we do see Tyrion again, I would like to see him and Hazel have like this odd, they hate each other banter, but they just kind of tolerate that. Because I heard remember that one throwaway line of Hazel and Tyrion seeking after all the huntsmen and huntresses? Like they would have had to go and kill them all?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they did. I like that idea of having also another kind of sort of Phantom Troop type thing where they're buddy antagonists,
but they're also
complete opposites from each other.
Yep.
And I'd say they'd probably be held together by Hazel's imperial will. Like he just kind of stands there and is just like, this is what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so great because that will also make Tyrion's craziness more enjoyable.
Yeah. So the villains, most of them got away. I loved the Nightmare Salem mass hallucination outburst. That is one of those things where you can ride the line of the Deus Ex Machina thing and have it make perfect sense within the universe of your story. So props to them for not having it be something of where they just are like, oh no, we can't chase them.
Well, and here's the other thing. It's a visual representation of the fact that, as far as we know, Emerald just hit rock bottom.
Yes.
Because without Cinder, what does she have? Mercury? Like, you know,
that's a good point, though. Like, Mercury showed genuine care for Emerald.
Yeah, he did. And
that was pretty cool.
That's one of the other things that makes me really interested, because so far Mercury's been kind of like angsty, and, you know, we don't really see much. Yeah, we don't really see much personality from him, right?
Right.
But if
except like since the first episode of Volume 2.
Right. Yeah. But if this is basically a way that they can show more emotion and like working togetherness amongst the villains, that will be so great.
It's also like one of the things that shows the monumental task that is writing for RWBY, because you have
so
an
many
enormous number of
with.
characters.
Yeah.
So when they have moments like Cinder potentially dying, that might be a great place to let her die, because they don't have enough space for someone like Cinder in the story.
Sure. Or it could even be, this is me like tinfoil hat.
I want this to happen too.
But it could be the precursor for a rift in the Evil League of Evil, where Cinder, Mercury, Emerald, no, not Hazel, maybe, I don't know. You know, could maybe like split away, do their own thing or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, not necessarily join.
Not join up with the good guys. But just the idea that it will add more opportunity for awesome interactions between these characters.
Yes.
In a world where so often the villain characters, there will either be the one standout or they'll all just be lame, right?
Right.
And either way, whatever happens plot-wise, it looks like they're setting us up for that, so I'm happy.
Right. And RWBY does justice to the broader kind of character cast, but having little moments as well are a welcome thing.
When they can't do quantity, they make sure they have that quality in there.
Right. Yeah. And having everything back now to everyone's back together, linear story. Blake gave the kind of meta line of, I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm literally going to be with you guys for the rest of the story,
which
basically.
Which is meta, and it's also just so fitting and exactly what needed to be said, because that was the big question that they had all had, you know, up till now. So.
And I think we should go back before the stream and look at our list of awesome things that we thought RWBY would do prior to this volume. I think they hit almost every single one in terms of like
basically
things that kind of need to happen. But there's a couple things that I know they saved for probably future stuff. And the fact that Raven is going back to Patch has some interesting implications.
They're setting up so many awesome potential character interactions. I love it.
Oh boy. And I guess that's the end of it, guys. We will be doing the
live stream. Yes.
Live stream. As of recording this, it'll be a week from now. But for you guys there, we're going to be starting this up at 4 p.m. Later today, the 27th of January, Saturday, and we'll be discussing Volume 5.
Yes.
everything that kind of went down, our favorite moments, and some theories for Volume 6. So yeah, until then, we'll see you there, and we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.